So, Orlando City lost again on Saturday night, losing 3-1 at the New York Red Bulls, but such a controversial game, so many talking points in the game, about the game, let alone what happened in stoppage time with Kaká and the whole Aurélien Collin red card debacle. We'll get on to that. Looking at the game on Saturday night, it was a good start from Orlando, very good start. Straight from kickoff, you could see that Orlando had loads of space in behind the Red Bull defence to attack into. It seemed sort of obscene from the New York Red Bulls head coach to play such a high line with the likes of Kyle Larin and Carlos Rivas in behind. The two centre-halves were exposed every time, and it was on every time Orlando got the ball. Every time they had it, looked up, and Rivas and Larin were in behind. It was too easy at times. But we know what happened. They couldn't punish New York Red Bulls when they were on top. Orlando just can't seem to put teams to bed. Carlos Rivas, who was deputising for the injured Dom Dwyer, should have made it 1-0 in the 17th minute after missing a clear 1v1. He's put clean through on goal. It isn't even where he's got to rush it. He's probably got too much time, you could say. He's waiting and waiting for the keeper to commit. He's waiting, and then somehow he misses the target. It's such a big area to aim at. He seems to go for the extravagant finishes at all times, Carlos Rivas. And this was no different. He went for the top corner, and he missed the target. When you get played one-on-one, and you've got so long to think about it, go around the keeper, slide it low. You can't miss a target. Inexcusable. However, having said that, the Colombian did eventually punish New York for their high line less than a minute later. Kaká threaded it through, and Rivas was in again. This time on his left foot, favoured left foot. It wasn't even a good shot. It was a powerful low drive. It somehow squirmed under the goalkeeper. It was poor goalkeeping from the Red Bull stopper. But nevertheless, Orlando didn't care, and they were 1-0 up on the road, and they were cruising. To be fair, they were cruising. But you never feel confident with Orlando, even when they're in front. They never seem to get the 2, 3, and 4 goals, which they could easily do, but it just never seems to happen. Orlando are playing arguably some of the best stuff they've played all season in the first half here, as they continue to create more and more chances, and good chances at that. Orlando should have been at the very least, 3-0 up at the break with the amount of chances they had. New York weren't really threatening. They had a couple of attacks, but Tommy Redding and Leo Pereira were fairly comfortable at this point. Again, Larin could have had a hat-trick in the first half on his day. Kaká clipped a free kick in towards a penalty spot. A nothing free kick. Larin has literally sauntered off his man. It's a free header, and he's glanced it wide. It's another chance gone begging, but from a New York point of view, it's inexcusable. I don't know what they were doing, but from an Orlando point of view, you've got to punish when you're on top. You've got to stamp your authority when you're in control. And if you go and get the third and fourth goal, there is very, very little chance that New York would get back into the game and score that many goals in the second half, no matter how on top they would be. Because in any game, both teams have a spell, and that's granted in every game. But you've got to take your chances. Orlando get the one goal, and they just can't seem to get the second and third goal. And it must be frustrating for Orlando fans. I mean, I've seen on my social media feed so many fans getting frustrated, and that's truly justified. But of course, New York, who had barely had a sniff in the game, equalised on the half-hour mark. Curling cross wasn't really a dangerous one, wasn't too dangerous. A cross on the right was clipped into his own net by Leo Pereira, who was having a game because Jose Aja was having a rest and Jonathan Spector was injured for a few weeks. So Pereira was in. Unfortunately, he didn't want to risk leaving it. I mean, Joe Bendik, I don't know if he called for it or what, but if he did call for it, there was no Red Bulls player in immediate danger, so he could have called for it and claimed for it. But Pereira stuck out a leg and swiped into his own net, which is a shame. And again, goals change games. I'm not too sure what Jason Kreis says at half-time, but whatever he did or didn't say in this instance, it didn't have the desired effect. But how many times has that happened? Yet again, it was a game of two halves. If you're Jason Kreis, you should be going in there and stamping your authority on your players and saying to them, picking them back up, telling them the game's not finished. Because when they go back out in the second half, it looks as though the game they think the game's finished at 1-0. How many times have Orlando been leading 1-0 and then been pegged back? I don't know if he goes in there and says nothing, just keep it up the good work, and the players go out, think they're doing okay. But obviously New York are going into the break. They're getting a rocket up the backside from their manager, and they're coming out with a point to prove, and they will improve. Whereas Orlando just get to a point and stagnate. They just stop playing. at that point you've got to push on and say you've got to be better than them in the second half. But it never seems to be the case, hence why Orlando are below the playoff places at the minute and slipping desperately. Prolific frontman Bradley Wright Phillips put New York ahead after an hour. A simple cross on the right was slid in by the unmarked striker, 2-1. As critical as I may sound, goals do change games. Orlando still had the chances in the second half to change the complexion of the game. Yoshi Yuton had a fairly decent debut. Still was interesting to see if he will be a better player than MPG, or should I say a more consistent, more prolific creator or goal scorer than MPG. He had a good debut, some good touches at times, but he really should have capped it off with a debut goal to equalise in this match. Inside the penalty area, he didn't rush it, fair play to him, he composed himself, he knew he had time in the penalty area, He took a touch, but unfortunately he caught it well, smashed the shot off the underside of the crossbar, bounced down and was cleared. Again, if that goes in, who knows which way the game's going to swing. But we all know which way it did swing, and that was a third goal with 10 minutes to go from the Red Bulls. And no complaints about this one. It was a throw-in, again, just like the Atlanta goal in the home game recently, from a throw-in. They didn't switch off as much as they did on that night, but two players just got caught. I think it's Higuita and Redding just got caught and turned. And then Sean Davis sent a stunning curling effort round the far post, leaving Bendit with no chance really. And now on to the talking point. Again, it shouldn't really mean too much, but again, it's a talking point that needs to be discussed. It should never have happened, but obviously it did. Higuita came on in the second half, and he is starting to become... I mean, he's a good player, he keeps him ticking by in the midfield, but he's starting to do certain things that bordering on stupid. Well, they are stupid. Came on, he started getting involved in skirmishes that weren't for him to be involved in. I think Richie Loea came on, got involved in a tussle, and he came barging in this instance, pushing Kleshchen, which obviously led to the caca with the tears for Kleshchen, who was very fired up in the game and easily riled. But yeah, Higuita stormed in on that occasion, pushed Kleshchen and started a little ruckus, if you like, pardon the pun. But in stoppage time, where it all, well, kicked off, it kind of kicked off. It didn't, the bigger incident occurred on that, but Higuita, again, goes out of his way to get involved. There's absolutely no need whatsoever for Christian Higuita to get involved. I'm all for backing up your teammates and getting involved and basically backing up your teammates, but this was just no need. It's in the 92nd minute of the game, 92nd of 95 minutes. And I know the pressure's on and I know tensions are high, but he's just come on. But what is he doing to the team? He's charged in again to this incident and pushed a New York player, which has started the whole thing. So basically, Higuita, in a sense, has started the whole melee, if you like, the handbag situation. So Aurelian Collin, who's a former Orlando City defender, came on for the Red Bulls. As most of us know, like I said, ex-teammate of Orlando City, ex-teammate of Kaká. So after the skirmish had died, after the pushing match between Higuita and others had died down, all the players had piled in to break it up, if you like. Kaká laughing and joking, showing no signs of malice or intent to hurt anyone or intent to show violent conduct. Kaká's put his hands on Collin's face, rubbing them on Collin's face. Collin clearly knows who it is because he's laughing as well. So both players are laughing in this instance. He does it again, the turn round, everything's fine. Okay, nothing happens. So then the referee signals to go to the VAR, the new video technology in place to determine whether certain incidents should be taken further or a closer look at. So at this point you're thinking, what's he seen? Because at the minute we've seen nothing. I'm not too sure what he's looking at. It's as if he wants to use it just because it's there. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to use it. That's a little sense of what I got on the night. Bearing in mind it was late here in the UK, so. But I wasn't dreaming. This was reality. But it only got worse. It is laughable. It is laughable because it was embarrassing. So they go to the video assistant review. They've got two officials there, the linesman and the referee, are stood over the hoardings, the advertising hoardings, watching this the incident again in slow motion with various angles, I should point out. So watch it again, and we watch it all back, and all the players are sort of stood around, unsure themselves of what they're watching. So they see that Kaká's put his hands over his face, which, yes, before we go any further, looking back, on reflection, Kaká should not put his hands in anyone's face. Because we all know they're the rules, but surely there has to be some kind of common sense into the game. Surely there must be some kind of common ground where you look at a situation and take it for what it is. Basically, to skip forward a little bit, the referee showed Kaká a straight red card. What was that for? Violent conduct? I mean, it didn't look like violent conduct to me. So he showed him a straight red card for putting his hands over Collan's face. So then you can imagine what the Orlando players' reaction was like. They were like, hands on heads. They literally could not believe what they were seeing. Because it was all a joke. They were joking around in a match. Yes, you could say, playing devil's advocate, you could say he shouldn't be doing it, whether he's laughing or not. I get that, but I totally disagree with that. Where's the common sense? He's put his hands in his face. They're both friends. They're both ex-teammates. They're both clearly having a bit of banter on the pitch. And the bad thing is, it's not even a first glance from the referee. They've gone to the video technology and watched it all back. They've watched what we've all seen. It is an embarrassment to the league. It's embarrassing to all the players. All the players looked immediately to Collan saying, what is going on? Honestly, we're having a bit of fun. And he's giving him a red card. They've actually gone to the video technology and used system and determined that Kaká was using violent conduct on Collan. Now, I have no idea what was said between, I think it was Kaká, Giles Barnes, and the other purple shirts, and then Collan eventually walks over with his hand behind his back. All laughing in disbelief at this point now. They were not laughing friendly, they were laughing in disbelief. And it was 3 AM in England, and I literally was riled because it was so stupid. And it is an embarrassment to the league. It is an embarrassment to all the players. Embarrassment to the VAR. What is the point in having it when you've used it for such a stupid incident that wasn't an incident? They were having a bit of fun. The referee should watch that and go, okay, there's clearly no malice or intent in there. If there was, Collan would have reacted angrily. If anyone puts their hand in someone else's face, especially with Collan his back to Kaká, so he obviously knew who it was, hence why he didn't react. Surely he'd react in an angry manner. It was all friendly banter. And Kaká has now been shown a straight red card for what must be violent conduct. And they've used the VAR. Surely, there's two of them as well. There is two of them watching the footage. What was the discussion between the two? It is if they want to send people off. It is if they want the power. What is the game coming to? Let us know if you think I'm overreacting, but what is the game coming to if we're sending red cards for that? What is the red card for? Yes, you could say that those are the rules, but surely some kind of common sense has got to be brought into the game. Surely. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments or on Orlando City on social media, but surely some kind of common sense has to be taken into consideration. Especially when they've watched the review back and they can see. Alright, you might not know they're friends, but you can see there's nothing in it at all. What is the point in sending him off? Now he's going to get suspended for doing what? Honestly, I mean, it is an embarrassment to the league. What is the game coming to? Anyway, let us know your thoughts on the game on Twitter, Facebook or Instagram or on YouTube at Orlando City. Until next time.